We've got a couple clips of Trump in Arizona, the mental decline shown in full force, so why not look over his speech is what I'm thinking and provide the fact checking that mainstream media often does not, starting with this absolutely wild claim.
Brandon, sign him up immediately. Paul, you got to sign him up immediately. Sheriff Joe. Well, you didn't have any problems with Sheriff Joe. He was tough and fair. You know what? He was actually very fair. It was amazing.
No problems, tough but fair. I wonder if that's true. It's actually kind of insane words once you realize that Phoenix taxpayers had to bear the brunt of almost $300 million in taxes due to this exact sheriff engaging in racial discrimination. I mean, it's no surprise to me that Donald Trump would like him. He can carry out his racist handiwork for him. But to say there was no problems in the face of Arizonians who had to have their local taxes raised because of him, because this man is a racist, is kind of crazy, and it's a smack in the face to taxpayers.
The longest serving professor in the history of MIT, like 40 years or 41 years, can you imagine? So this is good. Does anybody believe in genes? You guys believe in genetics? These guys have good genetics too for safety, and that's all we want you for. We don't want you for anything else. We don't want you for anything else.
It's kind of funny that at the end, he admits that he just wants to transactionally use these people to where they can benefit him. Assumably, there's border security that he's pointing at. But what's scary here is his speaking of genes, something that he's done a lot recently and has brought more to the forefront of his campaign, mostly to spread racist sentiments. He'll say, like, immigrants have bad genes. They're bringing bad genes to our country. They commit crimes and can't be trusted because of genes, which is, first off, entirely untrue. These things, if you're talking about like their native countries, often happens because of American interference, destabilizing their economy, overthrowing their governments, putting sanctions on their country to force them into abject poverty. Like, this is true in the Central American countries. This is true like Haiti, like Cuba. This is true pretty much across the map in African countries as well. Like, this is literally what America does, just to point at them and say, haha, we're better than you, even though it's our fault. But it's also, it kind of echoes the sentiments of eugenics, which has led to some of the biggest atrocities the world has ever seen. And it's inherently built into racism, especially Donald Trump's brand of racism, where he just feels like brown people have worse genes than the good white folk. And that's why they need a different standard of law and to be kept out of our country. The fact that a presidential candidate can get away with this is kind of insane.
To expedite removal of the Tren de Aragua and other savage gangs, I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Can you imagine? Those were the old days when they had tough politicians. I have to go back that long. Think of that, 1798. Oh, it's a powerful act. You couldn't pass something like that today. Today we're politically correct. Today people kill and they end up getting out on bail in 2 minutes.
This is so mind-numbing for the simple fact that I know the people cheering in the crowd have absolutely no idea what the act is that he's talking about. Most of them can't name 3 laws that Trump passed, let alone a law that was passed in 1798, because also, it's a bill that was passed in wartime, specifically to be used for wartime, though with our current Supreme Court, I could see them allowing Trump to invoke it, right? I mean, they'll allow him anything pretty much, but what it does is allow for the president to deport any native is important here, or a citizen of an enemy nation, which the president gets, jurisdiction to decide this, including legal immigrants or now citizens of the United States, just based off their country of birth or citizenship, like dual citizenship included. So again, these can be American citizens that were just born in like Honduras, just born in Haiti, just born in Cuba. And you can say, no, your citizenship doesn't matter. Back to where you're from, right? Which is insane, especially considering a lot of these people could have grown up in America, only know American culture, could have little to no family in their country of origin. But it's even worse that he's again signaling to deporting legal immigrants, again, going even further here, saying that he would enable an act that would allow him to deport citizens, right? Just because they're from a foreign country and are black and brown. The writing of the law does say it can only be invoked in times of war or invasion. Invasion is important here because with Trump's Supreme Court, where I could see them upholding this is that, oh, well, people are crossing the border. Trump uses the word invasion. It's an invasion. Boom. And allow him to do that, which just gives all the more reason that we need to keep him out of power and not even let him attempt to do this, lest lawful asylum seekers foreign-born American citizens and other legal immigrants will pay the price. They will be at risk of being deported for nothing less than their skin color or country of origin.